right, so listen up because today we are going deep into the world of Tommie Kelly.
Oh, yeah. Tommie Kelly.
This guy is like the real deal.
Multi-talented.
Yeah, an Irish artist, musician, and writer, but also like a major figure in chaos magic.
You know, I think some listeners might even know him from that Oracle deck he created.
The 40 Servants.
Yeah, that's the one.
It's really cool. But we're going even deeper than that today.
Deeper.
We found this awesome interview with him from 2017.
Oh, wow.
Where he really opens up about his whole journey. You know, how he got into magic, what he thinks about it, and even why he just walked away from this, like, big-name occult organization.
You know, I've listened to this interview a few times, and it's just full of insights. I mean, into his creativity, how he approaches magic.
Yeah, he really doesn't shy away from the unconventional.
Not at all.
So let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
With how Kelly actually got into magic. Because it's not like he had this, like, you know, sudden life-altering experience.
Yeah.
It was more of a gradual process.
A journey.
Yeah, starting back when he was a teenager.
I mean, back when we were all just figuring things out.
Totally. And he was really drawn to the work of Stuart Wilde.
Oh, yeah.
Specifically techniques like Turgle thought and the law of attraction.
Oh, both of those were huge in the New Age movement.
Yeah.
And they give you a good sense of like the kind of mindset that Kelly was exploring early on.
Yeah.
So Turbo Thought is all about like really honing in on your intention, almost like laser focus, you know, to manifest what you want. And then the law of attraction suggests that our thoughts can actually shape our reality attracting experiences that align with like our dominant energy.
So it's about harnessing the power of belief and intention to create change.
Exactly.
Do you think those concepts played a role in Kelly's later work with magic?
Oh, absolutely. You can see those threads woven throughout his journey. But you know what's refreshing about Kelly is that he doesn't get hung up on labels.
Yeah.
Like, he's not concerned with being called a magician or an occultist.
Right.
For him, it's more about the practice, the experience, the exploration itself.
That's interesting because it seems like there's often this pressure to identify with a specific label or tradition in the occult world.
Yeah, there is.
But Kelly's like, nah, I'm just going to do my thing.
Exactly. And that independent spirit really shines through in his approach to tarot and divination, too.
Oh, yeah.
He actually dove deep into tarot symbolism through the builders of the Adytum, also known as BOTA.
Wait, BOTA?
Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, and the teachings of Paul Foster Case.
Can you give us a little background on BOTA?
Yeah, sure. So BOTA is this esoteric organization that focuses on studying the tarot and Kabbalah. They have this pretty intricate system of interpretation.
Yeah.
And Paul Foster Case was a very influential occultist who developed his own unique approach to understanding the tarot.
Got it. So Kelly was immersing himself in some pretty heavy stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But then he just quit BOTA.
He did. And the reason why is actually pretty funny.
Oh, really?
He found their interpretations to be way too complicated, convoluted. Like they were trying to find meaning in every little detail, and it just didn't resonate with him. You know, Kelly's all about clarity and practicality, even when it comes to magic.
I love that it's like he's saying, let's not overcomplicate things.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder how many people stick with systems or traditions simply because they feel obligated.
Right.
Even when it doesn't truly resonate.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Kelly ultimately decided that he preferred to view the tarot and runes as representations of like archetypal energies rather than just tools for fortune telling.
Okay. I'm intrigued. What exactly are archetypal energies?
So think of them as universal patterns of thought and behavior that exist across cultures and throughout history.
Okay.
These patterns are reflected in myths, stories, and even in our own personalities. In magic, you might invoke these archetypal energies to bring about specific changes or connect with certain qualities.
So instead of asking the tarot, like, will I get a promotion?
Right.
You might use it to tap into the energy of ambition or leadership.
Precisely, it's a more nuanced and empowering way of working with these systems.
I see.
You know, we're focusing on Kelly's magical journey.
Yeah.
But we can't ignore the fact that he's incredibly talented in other areas, too.
Totally. Like his art and music, that's a whole other dimension of his creativity.
Oh, absolutely. He actually started drawing as a teenager, but then shifted his focus to music for a while. He even got pretty deep into the music scene before eventually burning out and returning to his artistic roots.
It's like he went on this creative odyssey.
He did.
Exploring different mediums before coming back to where he started.
Yeah.
But with a whole new perspective.
It's a reminder that creative paths are rarely linear.
Right.
They twist and turn, taking us on unexpected journeys.
Totally. And speaking of creative journeys,
Yeah.
there's this really interesting tidbit about Kelly's current writing process.
Oh, yeah.
He prefers to listen to classical music, specifically Eric Satie,
Interesting.
because he finds lyrics too distracting.
Really?
Yeah.
I find that so fascinating because for me, music is such a powerful tool for setting the mood
Right?
and inspiring creativity.
Yeah.
But I guess for some people, lyrics can pull you out of that flow state.
Yeah, I wonder if our listeners have like a specific type of music they prefer for certain activities.
Oh, me too.
It's amazing how these little details can give us a glimpse into someone's creative process, isn't it?
It is. It shows that he's very deliberate and intentional with his creative work,
Right.
carefully curating the environment that best supports his flow.
Yeah. And speaking of creative work, I'd love to talk about Kelly's comic series.
Okay.
The great work.
Yeah, great work.
He's been very open about the fact that he probably won't continue it.
I did see that.
And his reasons are quite insightful.
Yeah, they are.
It's interesting that he's chosen to, like, step away from the series.
Yeah,
Especially since it deals with such profound themes.
it does.
What were his main reasons for not continuing the great work?
Well, for one, his life has evolved significantly since he started the series. You know, it reflects a particular emotional state that he's no longer in.
Okay.
And revisiting that through the comic doesn't feel right to him right now.
I see.
He's being honest about the fact that, like, his creative drive for the series has just shifted.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, art is so personal,
It is.
and it often reflects the artist's journey.
Yeah,
It's not always easy to revisit past creative expressions,
right.
especially if they're tied to emotions or experiences you've moved on from.
Absolutely. And on top of that, the series wasn't commercially successful.
Oh, right.
And Kelly's been really upfront about the fact that creating something solely for himself, especially a project as time-consuming as a comic series,
Yeah.
just isn't enough to keep him motivated.
It's a tough balance for any artist, right?
It is.
Trying to find that sweet spot between personal passion
Yeah,
and the desire to connect with an audience.
exactly.
It takes a lot of courage to be honest about those challenges
It does.
and to prioritize your own well-being in the creative process.
You know, and Kelly's transparency about his experience offers a valuable glimpse into the realities of being an independent artist.
Totally.
It reminds us that creative journeys aren't always glamorous or straightforward.
Right.
There are ups and downs, shifts in passion, and sometimes difficult decisions about when to let go.
You know, we can't talk about Tommie Kelly without diving into his profound magical experiences.
We can't.
Or perhaps like the lack thereof at times.
That's right.
He's been so candid about his periods of doubt. You know, those moments when he questioned whether magic really works.
Right.
It's so fascinating how he addresses those periods of doubt in his work.
Yeah, it is.
It reminds me that skepticism is a natural part of any path, especially one that deals with the unseen and intangible, like magic.
Right. Like we all have moments when we question what we believe in.
Exactly. He even wrote a couple of blog posts about it, right?
Yeah.
One called Doubt in Magic.
Yep.
And the other, How Things Changed.
Yes. And he links to those in the interview.
Yeah.
And I think they could be incredibly valuable resources for our listener. You know, if they're interested in delving deeper into how Kelly navigates those challenging periods.
So in Doubt in Magic, he talks about feeling like nothing was working for a long time.
Yeah.
He questioned if magic was real, if he was just fooling himself, even if those who claimed to have amazing results were exaggerating.
Right. That's such a relatable feeling.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're putting in the effort and not seeing the results you hoped for,
Right.
it's easy to start doubting yourself and the entire system.
It's interesting how he connects those doubts to our tendency to rationalize events.
Oh, yeah.
Even if something seemingly magical happens, our minds try to find a mundane explanation.
It's like a defense mechanism, a way of protecting ourselves from the unknown.
Totally. But in doing so, we might also miss out on fully embracing the possibility of something beyond the ordinary.
That's true.
Right. But then in How Things Changed, he describes a shift in his perspective.
Yeah.
He doesn't go into detail about what caused this shift.
Right.
But he emphasizes the importance of acknowledging the power of magic,
Okay.
even when it seems to manifest through ordinary means.
That really speaks to the idea that belief itself can be a powerful force in shaping reality.
Totally.
It's a core principle in chaos magic. where the practitioner's intention and belief are key ingredients in the magical process.
So even doubt can be a catalyst for growth.
It can.
It forces us to confront our assumptions, refine our practices,
Right.
and ultimately deepen our understanding of the forces at play.
Exactly. And that brings us back to the powerful quote Kelly shares from Anton LaVey, the founder of the Church of Satan.
Oh, wow.
LaVey said, and I'm paraphrasing here, that it's crucial to acknowledge the power of magic after you've used it successfully.
Okay.
If you deny its power, you risk losing everything you gained.
It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
It is.
If we don't believe in our ability to affect change, we're less likely to see it manifest in our lives.
Precisely. Now, I'm curious to learn more about Kelly's work with St. Cyprian.
Yeah.
It's intriguing that he's drawn to a figure who's often overlooked or dismissed in occult circles.
Well, in the interview, he mentions that he's just started working with St. Cyprian. So he's still in the early stages of exploration.
I see.
He even created a print of St. Cyprian as an offering,
Oh, wow.
which you can find on his website if you're interested.
That's a beautiful example of how he blends his artistic talents with his magical practice.
Totally.
It also reinforces the idea that magic is a deeply personal and individualized path.
Right.
What works for one person might not resonate with another.
And speaking of personal preferences, he also mentions his fondness for Ganesha,
Ganesha.
the Hindu deity known for removing obstacles.
Oh, yeah, I love Ganesha.
He even joked that Ganesha seems to really like magicians.
I love that detail. It shows Kelly's playful and irreverent approach to spirituality.
Oh, right.
It's not about rigid dogma or strict adherence to rules.
Right.
It's about finding what resonates with you
Uh-huh.
and incorporating it into your own unique practice.
Do you ever find yourself drawn to figures or deities from different traditions?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's natural to be drawn to different energies and archetypes,
Yeah.
even those that might seem outside of your usual sphere.
Right.
And I think that openness to exploration is really at the heart of Kelly's approach.
Kelly's journey is a great reminder that our own paths will evolve over time.
They will.
We might find ourselves drawn to different practices, different beliefs,
Yeah.
different ways of connecting with the unseen.
Exactly.
The key is to stay open to new possibilities, to embrace the unknown, and to never stop learning.
I agree. And speaking of Kelly's journey, remember how we talked about his dream job?
Yeah.
He's actually living it.
He is.
He gets to draw for a living and runs a website called Adventures in Woo Woo,
Wow.
where he shares his occult-themed art, music, and writing.
It's inspiring to see someone pursuing their passions and creating a space to share their unique vision with the world. It reminds us that we all have something special to offer and that it's never too late to follow our dreams.
And if you're interested in seeing more of his work, he's also open to freelance projects.
Oh, cool.
He's done everything from portraits and avatars to book covers, comic covers, posters, album art, and even computer game art.
That's fantastic.
It's a testament to his versatility as an artist and his willingness to collaborate with others. It also makes me wonder if he's ever considered creating a visual representation of those profound magical experiences he described in his blog posts.
That's such a cool idea.
Isn't it?
Imagine the series of illustrations depicting those subtle shifts in perception,
Yeah.
those moments of doubt and clarity,
Right.
the interplay of belief and manifestation.
It would be like a visual diary of his magical journey.
It would be fascinating to see how he would translate those abstract concepts into a visual medium.
It would.
And I think it would be a powerful reminder that magic isn't just about spells and rituals.
Right.
It's about a way of seeing the world, a way of perceiving the interconnectedness of all things.
And maybe, just maybe, it would inspire others to tap into their own magical potential, to explore those hidden dimensions of reality, and create something beautiful and meaningful in the process.
That's a beautiful sentiment. And it brings us full circle to the idea that magic is all around us waiting to be discovered.
It is.
It's in those everyday moments, in the sparks of creativity, in the connections we forge with others, and in the depths of our own hearts and minds.
I think that's a perfect place to wrap up this part of our exploration.
Yeah.
We'll be back with the final part of this deep dive after a short break, where we'll delve into some listener questions and share some final thoughts on Tommie Kelly's world.
Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into the world of Tommie Kelly.
It's been a fascinating journey, hasn't it?
It really has. We've explored his magical journey, his creative pursuits, his unique perspective on art, music, and spirituality. But now we have some listener questions
Great.
that came in, and they're really insightful.
Awesome. I'm eager to hear what our listeners are curious about.
All right, so the first question comes from Alex, who asks, What are some practical ways to incorporate Tommie Kelly's approach to magic into our daily lives, even if we're not full-fledged practitioners?
That's a great question, Alex. One of the key takeaways from Kelly's story is that magic isn't just about elaborate rituals or esoteric knowledge.
Right.
It's a mindset, a way of perceiving the world and interacting with it.
Exactly. Even if you're not casting spells or working with entities, you can still apply some of Kelly's principles
Okay.
to boost your creativity, enhance your intuition, or even manifest your goals.
Absolutely. Like, remember how Kelly talked about turbo thought
Yeah.
and focusing your intention?
Uh,
That's something we can all do, regardless of our beliefs.
right.
Whether you're working on a creative project, trying to solve a problem, or simply setting an intention for your day.
Mm.
Taking a few moments to clarify your goals and visualize the desired outcome can be incredibly powerful.
And what about the law of attraction?
The law of attraction, it's not just about positive thinking. It's about aligning your energy with what you want to attract.
So pay attention to your thoughts, your beliefs, your actions.
Exactly.
Are they in harmony with your goals, or are they creating resistance?
Kelly's journey shows us that our mindset plays a huge role in shaping our reality.
Absolutely. Another practical tip from Kelly's story is to embrace doubt, not as a sign of failure, but as an opportunity for growth.
I love that.
Remember how he questioned the efficacy of magic?
Yeah.
Those experiences led him to a deeper understanding of his practice.
It's so true. Don't be afraid to ask questions, challenge assumptions, and experiment. That's how we learn and grow, both in magic and in life.
Okay, we have another question this time from Sarah. She asks, what advice would you give to someone who's interested in exploring chaos magic but feels overwhelmed by all the information out there?
I can relate to that feeling, Sarah. Chaos magic can seem vast and complex, but the beauty is that you don't need to master everything at once.
Right.
Start with what resonates with you. Read books, explore websites, listen to podcasts.
Like this one.
Exactly. Find what sparks your curiosity.
Chaos magic is all about personal exploration and adaptation.
It is.
There's no one right way to do it.
Nope.
Don't be afraid to experiment, try different techniques, see what works for you, and have fun with it.
Exactly. Magic should be empowering, not stressful.
Okay, we have time for one last question, and it comes from David. He asks, what do you think is the most important lesson we can learn from Tommie Kelly's story?
That's a great question, David. For me, it's the reminder that magic is a personal journey, and it's okay to forge your own path.
Yeah.
Kelly didn't let labels or traditions define him. He questioned authority, challenged conventions, and found what worked for him, and that's inspiring.
His story reminds us that magic is everywhere, in the everyday moments, in creativity, in connections in ourselves.
So true.
Stay curious, stay open, and never stop exploring.
Couldn't set it better myself.
And on that note, we've reached the end of our deep dive into the world of Tommie Kelly.
It's been a pleasure.
It really has. We encourage you to check out the resources we mentioned, explore Kelly's work, and maybe even start your own deep dive into the world of magic and creativity. Until next time, keep seeking, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.